What's up guys, welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking about why your bro split might not be the most efficient thing for you for building muscle. Welcome back to the channel, it's Jack Gadd, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about why your bro split might be outdated and not actually giving you the best gains that it could potentially give you in the gym. Okay, so you'll see over this video that there's going to be my shoulders and arms session that I actually trained the other day in the background, and this is one of my different sessions that I do throughout a 5-day training week. So with a 5-day training week, you often sort of hear from a bro split perspective that that's a push or a chest session, a shoulder session the next day, then it would be back, then it might be legs, and then it might be arms. Okay, so you're effectively training everything once per week. Okay, and this is effectively what a bro split is. So you're training stuff once per week on every session, okay, and you're going to hit that muscle once, and then by the time 7 days comes around, you're going to train it again. Okay, and this is where I think the problem rises with a bro split, is the frequency perspective of it. Because realistically, your muscles can recover quicker than 7 days. Your muscles don't take 7 days to recover, especially smaller muscle groups like shoulders, arms, some muscles in your back as well, even your chest. Like, even though that's a bigger muscle group, that can recover faster than a 7-day period. So it's one of these things which you need to ask yourself, if your muscle is recovering quicker, does it make more sense to train it more often? And I believe it does. From a frequency perspective, you're going to get more of a hypertrophic response. You're going to be able to actually train that muscle twice per week and have more than one session per week to progress it. So where in a 6-week period, someone might train their chest 6 times, okay, so train it once per week. By actually training it twice, you've now gone from 6 training sessions to 12, okay? So what's if you compared these two together, of 1 training session on chest per week to kind of 2 per week over a 6-week period, and you're now training it 12 times, that person doing that's likely going to make more progress from hitting their chest more often. And if recovery is obviously taken into account, then that's likely going to happen. And this is why I wanted to highlight this in this video and talk about how we can take our bro split and actually effectively push that volume across a whole week and make that more efficient. So let's just take our general bro split, and we're going to have some things popping up on the screen. So let's start with chest, keep it simple. So we've got a chest day. And so let's say over the course of 7 days, we do 10 sets on this. So we're doing 10 sets on chest. This might be 3 sets on a flat dumbbell press. It might be 3 sets on an incline dumbbell press. You might do 2 sets of cable flies, and then you might do 2 sets of dumbbell flies. So you're looking at 10 sets over the course of the week, and that is your 1 chest session. Now the problem with this is, as you get towards the end of that workout, because you've done quite a lot of volume on your chest in 1 session, what you might find is that the actual ability to progress your lifts on those like flies near the end is going to be probably less than it would be if we were to then split this up over the week, because effectively our muscles are obviously going to be a little bit more fatigued than they would be if we split that volume up. So by actually taking all of that volume and conforming it to a 5-day split, okay, because we're already doing 5 days doing the bro split, we can take half of that sets per week that we're already doing. So we can take maybe an incline dumbbell press with a fly and put it into 1 push session, and then we could take maybe a flat dumbbell press and another fly and put it into an upper session at the end of the week. So your bro split might go from chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs to push, pull, legs, upper, lower. Okay, so we're now training everything twice per week. The recovery is actually now in a decent amount of days apart, where we're not going to like disturb any other muscle groups, and you're now actually going to be able to progress your chest muscles now twice per week. And when it actually comes to those kind of last exercises which we would have traditionally left in your bro split towards the end, they're now actually going to be more of a priority focus, because we've actually positioned them in another workout, maybe sort of first or maybe the second exercise in, if it's a priority muscle group for you. And you'll find that you'll just get a lot better gains from doing so like that, rather than just kind of battering a muscle group in 1 session, waiting 7 days to then train it again. And it's one of these things which I feel quite strongly on. I did a bro split for many years when I first started training, and it wasn't like the worst thing in the world, because I made good progress, but the progress very quickly stops. Like, and that was something I massively noticed when I was doing so, was the progress just actually came to a stop. I wasn't progressing as much as I used to, that like, my lifts didn't go up, and I needed to think more cleverly about actually what I was doing. So swapping over to something like an upper lower or a push-pull leg actually worked a ton better for me. And I don't want people watching this to think that like bro splits are absolutely horrendous, because I know a lot of bodybuilders that do them and they make great progress, but a lot of the time, the people doing them, their recovery is really good. They're able to just go full on intensity every session, and bodybuilding is their life, really. And that's why for them, it does work quite well. But for someone who's looking to make gains in the gym where potentially bodybuilding isn't their life, or maybe they just want something different, then I feel like a push-pull leg is gonna be fantastic to you. So what you're gonna see on the screen coming up is how you can actually change your setup around in the gym, and you'll find these on my Instagram. So if you want to visit my Instagram, I'll put the link which will come up along here, and obviously it'll be in the description. If you go to the description, remember to smash the like button. But it's basically all of the ways that you can make your own training split. So first of all, we're going to talk about actually picking your training split. So you'll see in the grid here, we've got 3, 4, 5 and 6 days. Okay, so you can choose from these 3, 4, 5 and 6 days and actually make your training split from this. So you can take that traditional bro split, throw it out the window, and now actually pick a training split around your life to suit you best. Okay, so once you've done that, picked your training split, we can now actually go across to picking the amount of sets per week you're doing. So you'll see here in this diagram, you've got volume requirements for muscle growth. We've got 10 sets at the top, and then obviously 20 sets at the bottom. And somewhere between the sweet spot for that is where you're gonna find you can progress the most with regards to actually your volume. And you don't wanna go all out doing tons and tons of sets, because the quality end tends to drop a little bit. And you obviously have got crossover with certain muscle groups when you do certain exercises, but using that guide and that kind of picture I showed on the screen, you can then actually set your amount of sets per week that you're doing for obviously the requirements that you've got for your training. Next picture again shows like an example 5-day training split. So this is where we can actually see over a whole through every muscle group how this would work over the course of a week for a 5-day training split. So you can see on the right hand side you've got obviously weekly direct sets. We're looking at obviously 10 sets for chest, 15 for shoulders, 12 for back. And I don't want you to follow this to like the exact that it should be. This is just an example. This can be very different for you depending on your life and actually how your gym routine falls. And obviously you might only be able to train 4, you might only be able to train 3 days a week. So this is just all the considerations that you'll have to make when it comes to setting up your own training. And then again, we've got example exercises, which you can just take from and obviously choose as your own will. And then we've got the training block progression, about to actually progress your moves. So if you want access to all of these pictures that have come up on the screen, just head over to my Instagram. You can save the post and actually just use them whenever you need to, because I'm sure it's harder to take away from a YouTube video. But that's basically how I feel on a training perspective, where you'll progress more is using that diagrams that I've shown you there, and changing up your training to suit something which will be a far more optimal than the common bro split that you're currently doing or may have done in the past. The bro split now is becoming a little bit more outdated. I think as more knowledge around training and nutrition comes in, people are more opting for a push-pull legs or an upper-lower kind of split because of the frequency of the week actually being higher. Frequency being a key point to obviously driving muscle growth. So yeah, like the kind of bro split is becoming a little bit more outdated, and that's my opinion on it. And yeah, if you've got any questions, guys, obviously just let me know. Obviously remember to subscribe if you want to see more of these. I will be posting a lot more this year on YouTube. It's something that I've set myself as a goal to try and do. And this is the first of many that will be coming out over the coming months. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Any questions, just obviously let me know, and I'll speak to you in the next video.